Welcome guys, it's Ben Pearson, the Road to Tracker. We're going to do a brand new tutorial for Frontier Pilot Simulator using the latest version. You can see version 1.1.21 blah. First and foremost, I suggest you do not use the keyboard at all. You can use a controller. You could use a flight joystick. I understand that there is support for that now. There was not when I first did this, but I found the controller works reasonably well, and so that's what we're going to do. Using the D-pad, we're going to go into the settings and muck around with a few things. The biggest thing, the camera, if we go, and you can use the mouse for this part if you need to. You may want to change the vertical inversion. It feels like the camera controls to me are the wrong way. So that may help you if your mind is wired the same way as mine. Some other things, you can go to the controls and you can set the various key commands that you'll need if you want to do updates. You can also find out what they all are. I'm not going to go through them. I'm just going to use the defaults, but you are welcome to do that. Next thing, we want to delete things. So we're going to go into a profile. We're going to hit Y a bunch of times to delete the profile, and then we're going to go back. The reason, I assume if you're doing this tutorial, you probably crashed a plane a bunch and you don't have very much money and are having a really, really hard time doing anything. So that's what I suggest you do once you've learned how to just fly the craft. We're going to go ahead and start a new game. Now, there are some things that we're going to want to do before we even get off the ground. The first thing we're going to do is turn off the AI. If you hit the back button, then you will see a bunch of things. We're going to turn off the tutorial. I don't recommend you do this if you're first playing it, but I want that off so that way it doesn't annoy us. Next thing I suggest you do is there is the square bracket buttons on the keyboard. You can use this to set a different camera view. I suggest the third person. It's just so much easier, but you can try to do it first person if you want. If you were going to do that, you probably want to set up the keyboard or map these to the controller. You can, in theory, do it without the controller, but it's a pain. Next thing we're going to do, you're going to use the D-pad to select the HUD controls. We're going to turn on the radar, and we're going to turn on the compass marks. The rest of it's not as important. Now we can see here that there is a cargo box that's right near us, so we're going to go pick that up. It's basically free money, so why wouldn't we? You just move in with the joystick. It takes some practice. I don't have any huge tips, but you'll back in. What you want to do is position the box so it's right there, roughly where the tail is of the plane, because that is the range you can grab it. You hit the A button on my Xbox 360 controller, and you can pick it up. So you can see we're going to load that. I'm using an Xbox 360 controller. You can use whatever type of controller you want that can plug into a computer. I will leave a link in the description to one on Amazon that you can buy if you do not have one. But you're welcome to use whatever you have lying around. It will work just fine. They don't cost very much, like 10, 15 bucks. So we have this cargo. I'm going to hit the right button, and we're going to try to figure out where's the best place to sell it. So we're going to hit Y to select the most profitable destination, which turns out is Aslan Central. Okay. So we're going to hit the right trigger button to fly. You'll want to hold that most of the time that you're flying. Some other things, there's a panic button in the left joystick that will allow you to gain some control if you are coming in for a landing a little bit too hard. Not good to use too often, but it is something that you can do if you need it. So we're going to come in here for a landing. I'm keeping a bit of an eye on the speed. You can see that we're at about 60 miles and we're fairly high above the base. That's good. We're going to come in 23 meters per second. I think we're doing fine. We're going to use a little bit of extra thrust because I think we were coming in a little harder than I liked and also not quite the right spot. So we're just going to come down and you land. It's important to just let it sit for a second to convert to ground mode because you can fly around without any fuel and it's a lot less powerful, so you're a lot less likely to hurt something. So the important thing when you're getting lined up here, what we're going to do is trade. You want to line up until it has the right color, and then you want to stop. So we're hitting A here. We're going to sell our rations. 4,400, not bad. We're going to buy some waste products. And this will allow us to change ourselves out. Then we want to recharge. It's very important that you hold it. If you just tap it, it's only going to put a little bit of fuel in. If you hold it, you can see our fuel at the bottom left. It's 609 right now. If I just tap it, we'll go up to 618. If we hold it, it will fill it all the way up, which is where we want to be. You're going to hit B to get out of here. A, and we are good to go. Now, I didn't really cover it, but you want to line yourself up roughly in the right direction with your wheels roughly where that green circle that says magnetic field is. That can sense that you're there. So we have this new cargo. We're going to find, using the Y button, the most profitable destination. And it turns out that is this Port Astral. So in order to get there, we're going to have to do some flying around mountains, which will be good. Good practice. So got lots of mountains and hazards in the area. You want to obviously not hit those. We could just fly over the top of the mountain, but we'll fly around it. So Port Estrella is quite a bit lower. Looks like it has a actual honest-to-goodness runway, which is interesting. Airplanes are something you can do. You start off with VTOL, and it's a lot easier. So I haven't really done airplanes. They are tough. If you want a tutorial on that, leave a comment in the description below, and I will consider that. So we're going to overshoot it a bit. Notice that we have a passenger that we can pick up. Okay, that was not bad. 99% landing gear, so we're still okay. Now we're going to need to back this into its place. Lining, oftentimes you'll land and be in totally the wrong direction. It's just a pain to do. We started to fall off, so I set the engines. We'll just come in here. Do. Okay. Wait till they shut off. Good. So we're going to try to turn around on this little tiny platform. You see, we're not lined up, so it will not allow us to put our goods in, which is fine. You get better at this with time. But I wanted to deliberately show, this is one of the biggest frustrations for me when playing this game for the first time, is realizing you had to line this up in the right direction. It does show you the nice little guide. We're pretty close. The reason why is that cargo arm has to access your cargo port. So we're in the right orientation. We just need to... Aren't we? There we go. Goes green. Excellent. So we'll go ahead and sell our waste products. Make a small profit. We could potentially buy some of this stuff, but it weighs a ton. And Aslan 1, very fragile payload. I don't think we're going to take that. We don't have that much cash to spare at the moment. So we're going to go try our hand at passengers. So we're going to go forward. Now, if you're playing this, I recommend you take the time to go over manually, especially if you're still having a hard time flying. But I've got enough practice and I'm trying to kill some time for the tutorial, so we're going to just go ahead and fly over closer. Now, we didn't refuel. It's not the end of the world. So we're going to hit A to discuss the route. This guy wants to go to Bora, so we'll take him. You just wait for him to walk in. You can move a little bit closer to help him, but he's going to walk in. The payload bay will undock. So he's boarding now. We're going to set his destination as our target by hitting the right button. Same thing that we did with the cargo. And we have 2 minutes to get him there for the optimal payment. Which Bora Bora is a long ways away. So we were going to face some hazards. You can see there's a volcano. That's the red button that is showing up. We're going to just kind of fly around there. So I got a fuel warning. We'll be fine. But we will want to get fuel. We got to avoid that volcano as well. Now you can see there's 3 geysers that show up between myself and Bora Bora. We're going to go around the geysers here. Geysers are not the end of the world if you get sucked into them, but they're a bit of a headache we don't want to deal with. So I'm going to go ahead and feather off this engines. We're going to just let it run. Okay, we're going to slowly start inching our way down. You can see our shadow there. Okay, keep coming. I'm, feathering the fuel here. So we're gonna stop the system, let him off. And because we got him in under 2 minutes, then he's gonna give us extra credits. So he promised 1,500. Because we got him there quicker, he gave us 1,800. So that's a nice little bonus. Now we're gonna want to refill here. So let's back in. It does not have anything of note. So we're going to go ahead and refill this up to completion. And exit. So we're going to take the passenger where they want to be. This one's close enough. I'm not going to try to fly. I would only mess things up. So he wants to go to Nord. Okay. So we're going to head pull up a little bit. Let him load his bags in. Help him, in. Not too much, though. He's still got a little bit of a jump, it looks. Okay, we can leave for Nord. Let's do that. Now, we didn't set the destination as the target, but we will do that now. Nord is pretty close to where we flew from. It may have been the same spot. I don't remember. So we just flew a little bit through a geyser, which is bad, but it's not the end of the world. I think we were in Port Estelle. So we're going to head over to Nord. Do you have something to drink? Oh, I see the fridge. I mean, you're only here for 2 minutes, man. You want something to drink. Okay. So we're a little bit low on our battery fuel. It's a good thing we did fill up. So we're just going to go ahead and land in here gently. Okay. Let him out. Guess we're moving while he's disembarking, which is probably bad. But we got there quick, so he gave us more than promised. So 2,300. Not bad, not bad. One thing that's funny with Nord is the place to pick up passengers is way off to the left. I do suggest you fly to there. I've tried to taxi along that road before, and it doesn't end well. It's not really designed for it. But I don't see any passengers for pickup anyways. Let's see if we can get lined up. Okay. So, got some empty batteries. Let's go ahead and take those, and we're going to recharge. Boy, we sure emptied out things. So, we're going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to hit the map with the back button. Oops, that's the help. You can see the map of the island, see the various volcanoes. I believe Bridgepoint is the place that we can go. We can pull this up. You can see the batteries that we have are needed there, and they will sell for 1,400. So that is not bad. And there's also a passenger there that wants to go to Bora. We really want to head here if we can, but we cannot. That's fine. So we're going to head to Bridgepoint. So we're going to set that as our current destination. Wait, what? Do I have a fuel leak or something? I think I have a fuel leak. Uh-oh. Well, we're going to deal with this quickly. Yeah, the batteries are leaking a bit. We got a little too close to the volcano. I've wondered why we went so low. It's okay, we'll get to show how you do repairs. Now, we could call a service drone. And actually, I think that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to land here. On top of the mountain if we can. And that looks like it was a little harder than I wanted it to. So we're low. Come on. So we crashed. This happens. It's a part of the game, but you'll end up back at the port. What will happen is it will take a little bit of our money, just a few hundred. So, yeah, that's fine. No big deal. We lost our cargo and we lost a few hundred, but we lost 1,000 credits. It happens. But we're going to end up here in our repair bay, and I'll show you how you get into here in a moment. But we can go ahead and do some upgrades. While we're here, we'll put in better engines. We cannot put the wings in place yet, but we're fully refueled and fixed up, so that is good. So now that we have more powerful engines, we're going to want to test this out a little bit. We're going to head over to Bridgepoint anyways. Actually, before we do this, let's just come in here for a landing test, touch and go. So we're in Aslan 1. This is where you fix and upgrade. Stop there. Always a good idea to wait until you get into the stop mode. To get to the hangar, and I'm not actually going to do anything but line it up, all you have to do is get your wheels inside of that box. Right there. And it doesn't matter the orientation at all, unlike the trade. So you see the color change, you wait, it'll turn green, and you can go. We're not going to do that, though. We're going to go over to Bridgepoint. Okay. You can see we're actually lined up roughly. This is where the rations come into place, so this is a good spot. This is where we first started. Okay, and we have landed safely. Good. Oop. Almost perfectly. Nice. So they have the full batteries. They don't have any rations available, though. So that's unfortunate. Do they have passengers? Yes, they do. So we're going to go ahead and do this. But this is really the cycle for this game. You can get into airplane mode and go fly to other bases. You can do things, but this should be enough to get you guys started. Let me know whatever questions, comments you guys have, and we will do more if you guys want it. Thanks for everything. Until next time, keep on tracking and be safe. And, you know, I could use Scott Manley's line, fly safe, which is applicable for this game, but I will spare you guys. Thanks for everything, guys. Take care.